Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Bully Kid here checking in, and on today's video we need to do an oil change on this 8th gen Civic. It is over 4,500 miles. I typically change it every 4,000. Stay tuned to find out why. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic. Why do you ask? Because it's the best. Why? Stay tuned to find out. Keep watching. Alright, first of all, let's hop into the car. Let's talk a little bit about the oil maintenance minder system. Sorry if you guys are experiencing some glare from the sun. We had some crazy rainfall. And now it is nice and sunny. So let's go ahead, switch over. We did 4,618 miles. Let me see if you can see that. This oil change, right? Interval. We got 20% life left on the oil life indicator. Now, this indicator can be very tricky and it can misguide you a little bit, okay? We'll talk a little bit about how this oil life indicator works, how accurate is it, should you religiously follow it when it turns to 15%. Once you hit 15%, there's a little wrench that's gonna pop up here on the dashboard indicating it is time for service. Now, personally, I don't follow that maintenance system. I find it to be a happy medium to change my oil interval every 4,000 miles. Now, sometimes I go a little bit over, as you can see now, because the weather was so bad, so cold and freezing and raining the last few months that I'm just gonna do it right now. Anyway guys, we're gonna be running Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic. That's what I've been running on this 8th gen Civic since day one that I got it. Why? Well, I'm an retired Jiffy Lube technician. I've spent a lot of times on cars and oils and lubricants, going to numerous seminars for that company, that great company, right? But we decided to stick with Pennzoil Platinum. There's a lot of competition out there: Mobil 1, Royal Purple, Pennzoil, Valvoline. There's just too much to choose from. Statistically speaking, if you have too many options, you're more likely not to make a decision. That's true. That's Costco's knowledge behind everything, right? But why did I choose Pennzoil Platinum? Because one, I'm sponsored by them. Psych, I'm not sponsored. So let's go ahead, jump under the car. Let's get things going before it starts raining again. And I'm gonna just do an overlay video, voice over, talking about what's up with Pennzoil Platinum, why I choose Pennzoil Platinum, what's up with this oil life indicator, should you follow an oil life indicator in your car, and I'll tell you my specific example here and why I do not follow this indicator. But keep watching guys, you might learn a thing or two, and don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the algorithm up. It throws my videos forward in the YouTube algorithm so more people can see these things, more people can view it. Subscribe, like, share, comment. You really don't need any special tools for this job. All you need is your oil of choice, a quality oil filter, and in our case, in Honda's cases, a 17mm wrench or socket. As you can see, we rep Pennzoil Platinum pretty good. Your oil specifications are always on the oil cap or in your owner's manual. So undo the oil cap, make sure there's some air to breathe, but don't undo it all the way where dirt and debris can go on there. Just enough so air can bypass through the engine. And let's go underneath the car. Alright, everything looks good, no leaks anywhere, so let's bust it open. Make sure you guys wear glove protection as always. Sometimes when we used to work at Jiffy Lube, we didn't have any hand protection when we ran out of gloves. But I'll make a custom video about Jiffy Lube one of these days. I'm just still checking the legal rights that I can say about Jiffy Lube on the internet. As you can see, with the wind helping me blow this all over my driveway, that the oil is pretty filthy, which is good. That means it's doing its job. All the dirt's getting absorbed from the engine and the components into the oil, and it's being retained in the oil. Well, man, my whole car is gonna get oiled up, huh? So much for a windy day trying to change your oil. Anyway, let's have this all drain out, and then we're gonna get the oil filter off. And taking off the oil filter can be quite challenging sometimes, so I'm just using this tool right here that's gonna help strap up and help us remove that oil filter. Oh, that tool didn't help. You know what, forget about the last tool. It did not work. Our oil filter is pretty small, so let's go ahead and try using this tool here. Oh my god, fuck my life. A lot of cars now come with maintenance minders. They're inbuilt systems designed to tell the driver when to change the oil, rather than leaving it to guesswork. First generation systems were nothing more than mileage counters. When the car reached over an interval of 3,000 miles, the light came on. Now they're more involved. The system typically monitors driving style in terms of how long is the throttle open for any given duration of driving, air intake and exhaust temperatures, coolant temperatures and variations, and engine timing determined by load on the engine and the octane of fuel. There's a clever formula that each manufacturer keeps to themselves that can take in any or all of these factors and probably more to determine how fast an average oil will be aging in the engine. When it gets to the point where the system decides that the time is up, a light will come on the dash, typically maintenance required or service required. So our 2007 Honda Civic LX with the R18A1 motor calls for a 5W20 oil, and the required oil does not have to be a synthetic. It is just a regular crude oil. So we all know crude oil isn't as good as a synthetic oil these days. They don't last as long. They're more impure and so on. So my maintenance system that Honda has designed for this engine is specifically keeping track of an oil that was a regular crude oil. So what happens when I put in a full synthetic engine oil and the maintenance minder system does not recall or know what oil this is? Well, at this point it is an inaccurate prediction of when the oil change is due. So even though right now I'm 20% of my service life on my oil, yes, that would be accurate if I was running a regular oil, 4,500 miles on a regular oil. But since I'm running a synthetic oil, I can probably keep this oil going for another 2,000 miles without any side effects. If you guys are not familiar with Bob is the Oil Guy, it is an online community that talks and goes in great lengths detail about engine oils and oil analysis. A lot of these people here send in their used oil samples to Blackstone Labs, where they fine-tune and test all the excessive wear material that's found in the oil, and this is a calculation of how well the engine oil is protecting. And being on these forums for countless of hours researching which oil I should originally put in my Honda Civic, it turns out that Pennzoil Platinum was getting great wear results. Engines were loving it, not a lot of wear, and they can go for much more miles than other oils in that category. Jumping back to the maintenance minder system. Now, if your car currently comes with an oil that's 0.20 weight, that is only an oil that comes in a synthetic form. So those maintenance minder systems on cars where engines call for 0.20 are calculated to a synthetic oil calculation. So that way your mileage and all those criteria that the engine ECU calculates are accurate or quite accurate. And the reason I go 4,000 miles on my car is because I like to do my oil changes around twice a year before the winter season hits, and then usually after the winter season, because there's a lot of idling during the winter season, and that's never a good thing for the engine. A lot more fuel contamination goes into the motor, and it's just nice to flush that oil out after the winter season. So when I was looking for the perfect oil that I can use for this Honda Civic, I directly went to Pennzoil Platinum, but it wasn't after quite a bit of research that I put in online to see exactly if this was the best bang for the buck oil for my Honda Civic. Now, we looked at all the oils and we made sure they are available in our local hardware stores. There's some great oils such as Redline and Royal Purple and Pennzoil, but a lot of them are not readily available, and even though some of them work better in some areas such as pour point, boiling point, freezing point, Pennzoil Platinum had the best balance of everything, a good all-around oil. And they have the newest technology, which it's not made from crude oil anymore. They use it as a natural gas oil, and this is very complex stuff, but I'm going to include a clip directly from Pennzoil's YouTube channel, and they will be able to explain to you guys what this new oil is and how revolutionary it is to the other oils, because as far as I know, this is the only company that is doing such things. They are going leaps beyond any other motor oil in my opinion, and I choose to support their mission in providing better oil, cleaner oil, and a longer lasting engine. So here you guys go. Here's the clip from Pennzoil.
PurePlus is an absolute breakthrough technology. There's no other motor oil that has been made this way. I mean, when you think about the innovation that's gone into this product, the innovation has been 40 years in the making to do something of this magnitude. I'm a science fiction fan, and when you think about we're able to make a motor oil out of natural gas, that feels like something out of the future.
Imagine crude oil to be like a muddy river. Now imagine natural gas to be like a clear water vapor. So if I go to a muddy river and I take a cup of water from that river and I filter the water, it will still have impurities left in the water. However, if I condense water vapor or steam into a cup of water, that water will be much clearer and purer than the water that I got from the muddy river. In the same way, base oil made from natural gas is purer than base oil which has only been refined from crude oil.
Pennzoil Ultra Platinum with PurePlus technology is able to keep pistons up to 25% cleaner than Mobil 1, up to 35% cleaner than Valvoline SynPower, and up to 40% cleaner than Castrol Edge with Syntec.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us.